Just a quick update on fall orchard. Uh, this is the front yard garden slash orchard that we have planted several fruit trees and a little bit of vineyard here. So this is hachia, I believe. If you've watched the video before, these were mislabeled. They're supposed to be fuyu, like what that label says, but they're astringent, and looking up online, they look like hachias. We have several of these Asian persimmons here, and they're quite productive. They have big fruits, and this would be their third year in ground. All right, there's one of them. Look how big the fruits are. We have another one. So this were all because we like non-astringent fuyu, hana fuyu, and bought them, and they're all mislabeled. We don't mind them. Well, I don't mind them. Once they're ripe, they're really delicious. They're very sweet, and I think these are all hachias. So this is the second tree right here. They don't get enough sunlight after morning sun, but they do get plenty, especially here in Texas. All right, and we bought some kind of sickly, dying, two-in-one Asian pears. And this is the first time they really put out some growth. These are probably 2 years in ground or 3 years. I can't remember now. This is let me see, Chojiro or Chojuro, and they're 2-in-1, 20th century. So these are Dave Wilson. They were on clearance for $10. So they fruited, but the squirrels got them first. So they'll get bigger, and then we'll get our share eventually. This is the other hachia, I think. It's also mislabeled, supposed to be fuyu. And I tried them, so in case they're the non-astringent variety, no, they are stringent for sure. No denying when you I mean, they're firm right here. If this were fuyu, they'll be ready to eat, you know. But they're quite productive also. Not as big as the other one, maybe because of the volume of fruits and tree size. We got a few that ripen, I think, because they have damage, kind of like this one. Ants are all over that one. But this one's quite loaded. Bird starts pecking on them, then they'll stop because they're hard. But it's quite productive. All the way up there, and they grown in size too, the trees. Here we have I think this is Korean giant, and you know, susceptible to fire blight and all that stuff. There's some right here I need to cut also. We got a few fruits from this one, and they taste exactly like what you buy in the market. I don't know if they're supposed to taste better or but they're quite good. Right here, this is Anna. Got we got a lot of apples from this, but you don't get that crisp kind of texture with the heat here in Texas. Apples they're just not supposed to, I don't know, maybe I just don't know how to grow them, but they never, they're not crispy. I mean, they have that crispiness, but I don't know how to say it. There's a little bit of mushiness in them with a crisp. So anyway, I'm done with apple. If any of these die, I'm not replacing them. That one is Einsheimer, I think. So I bought whatever's supposed to be hardy in Texas. And we have quite a few over there too, the Fuji, and we got a lot of harvest from those. And again, they're not the same crispiness as Fuji, I think, grown somewhere. So, all right here we have Seedless Chi. I have two of these, bought them from Edible Landscaping from Florida. And right here we have plantain bananas. Never got the fruit, but we do could use the leaves, because there's some stuff we cook when we wrap them in banana leaves. So, all right, over here, Summit and Ison Muscadine, another Seedless Chi. Should have put them in ground. Forgot about them. They were in a pot for a year. Wasted their potential. Here I have 4 Ruby Crisps, so I plan to replace this Ison right here. These are all the Ruby Crisp Muscadine. All right, let's go to the middle kind of garden. That's the Asian persimmon. All right, the 2 persimmons right here. Hello, kitty. We have 9 of those guys. So, all right. And I have several Jujubes still in pots that are waiting to get transferred. So we have Jujubes right here. So as soon as they go dormant, I'm going to plant them in ground. So this is contorted saw. This is I bought it at Ison. It's supposed to be a Lee, but it gave me fruit this summer. It looked like a Lang. So I kind of changed my opinion with Lang before. Lang is no good, but I actually let it ripen, and it has it has flavor now. Our big Lang. And we have honey jar right here, another honey jar, and that's Chico. I can show you it's for real. It's Chico because it fruited and it looked like Chico. There you go. It's that kind of pumpkin kind of shape. They're pretty good actually. Chico's good, so I would buy more Chico. What I've noticed with saw, it's also sweet. It's just that if you don't let it all brown, it's super hard. It's kind of hard, but once it's 90% brown, it same texture as like honey jar or sugar cane. But like right now, if I try to eat this, it'll have flavor, but it's like super hard. So, and it's not the case with Chico or honey jar. You can bite into them and not feel any resistance. All right, so that's our potted Jujube that will be transferred. This thing is immortal. This is our spearmint. It just keeps coming back. And here is our crown jewel of our citrus. This is the Meiwa Kumquat. This is the sweet one. And we have the Nagami, the sour one, planted in ground. But they'll need protection. This one goes inside the house. All right, and it's loaded with fruits now. And you eat them with the rind, the whole thing. So that's our kumquat and our Jujube. This one's supposed to be a noble muscadine right here, but they're too big for noble. I think it's an Ison, so another mislabeled one. And the other one on the other side is supposed to be Triumph, but now that this is mislabeled, I doubt that's Triumph. But anyway, all right, here that's a black Arkansas apple. Bought that back when didn't know much about apples. It needs 800 chill hours, which we don't usually get here. So it fruited and then they don't develop. So this one is a wonderful pomegranate. It flowers really pretty, but they never I never get any fruit from them. Unlike the Texas pink, we got several fruits out of that pomegranate. All right, so here are the blackberries. These are cuttings I propagated. I just simply cut them and dunked them in those pots, and they made it. So I can, if I successfully separate this, if I successfully separate them, I probably have about 10 added blackberry trees. And there's our fruiting ones, because I cut this from the well-established blackberry. So, and I think this one is a male. I transplanted this, I saw it on the ground, so I might put this with them for pollination, but this will all be planted once they get dormant. All right, behind us is behind them is a fuyu. This was loaded last year. This year it's not so much. It dropped a lot of its fruit, and one of the comments on that one is I think it didn't like we have heavy rains this spring, like a lot of rain. Like it almost rained like the whole month, so I think it didn't like that. But we're getting a few. And we harvested some already. And they're decent size, they're not super small. But there's probably just 10 of them. Last year there's like 50 on this thing. So, and the leaves are turning too, and they turn to red. They're really pretty. Hey Alden. That's also a wonderful pomegranate right there. Same case as the other one. I didn't read up on pomegranate because I thought you can just kind of plant them like this. That's gala apple. Yeah, because the Texas pink, they flowered and they got pollinated. We got fruits from them, so I don't know if Wonderful needs some pollinator. I need to read up on it. All right, so what else do we have? This is Santa Rosa. This is loaded plum. The other one over there, that's the Methley plum. We love Methley plum and Santa Rosa. The Methley is a little bit more juicier, but they were loaded. Gala apple, we got a few. We just left it to the birds. Not a big fan of the apples that we get here in Texas. All right, up front right here, we have a few more fruiting trees. I think that's a gala apple, that's a Bruce plum, and this is one of the fuyu. As you can see here, it's not getting enough sunlight. It's in a bad spot, but I'm just gonna leave it here. I'm not gonna transfer it. So it has tiny fruits. These are actually ready. Since this is a fuyu, it's an unastringent one. Always has this tiny fruits. This one is probably needs to be harvested. All right, and that's Methley plum, and then up front right there would be, we have 3 Asian pear, Korean giant and whatnot. Let's take a look at the other persimmons here. So again, we only buy fuyu from Harris Nursery, and out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 are mislabeled. But this one is a Saijo. Again, I have to look it up. I have to look up the shape of the fruit and whatnot. But I think this is correct. And someone commented that it is Saijo. This is really good tasting, astringent. They're tiny, but you get a lot. So this one grew like crazy too. I mean, these are all bought at the same time. Look how tall this thing is. And I need to get rid of this Bradford fir. When we bought the property, this is already here. So I'm started to cutting it. Might chop it off this winter. All right, so side view loaded. There's more. There's a lot right here. There's a bunch. So I don't know how many fruit, but there's lots on this one, and it keeps growing. All right, on to our citrus. This is our Calamondin. It's loaded, and we harvest every day. We use it as dipping sauce, part of kind of like a Asian dipping sauce. And there's two right here, and they're both loaded. And we get sometimes we forget to harvest, and they get ripe. Like this one right here, a lot riper than this, but they get really plumpy and huge. Look at that. They're bigger than this typically. So it is Calamondin, and we got them all potted, and we put them in the garage. So the Meyer lemon, they took a break. There's probably 50 Meyer lemon on this one. Potted 3 last year, so we got plenty. And they kind of take a break. They overload, and then they don't produce much the following year. Same thing with Poncan. We were loaded with Poncan mandarins last year. That one right there. Persian lime. This is another Meyer lemon. And there's another Calamondin that I need to harvest also. Look how big these guys are. We let them ripen because we forgot to harvest them. They're in the back. So they're really ripe now. So Calamondin, another Meyer lemon. This one has a few, but it kind of dropped them. But last year we were just so loaded with this. Same thing with this one. This is Republic of Texas orange. Loaded last year. It's like all the way bent from the weight of the orange, but took a break. There are a few, and then they dropped. So it's kind of like that cycle, or maybe I need to fertilize it some more. So those are our citrus here. Yeah, Arctic frost. I'm gonna put this in ground as soon as it's close to winter, end of fall. Look how big that trunk is, and tiny bit of dirt, but they're loaded. So Arctic frost Satsumas, they're quite big too, decent size. Not as big as the Satsumas, Seto, I think, or Miho, or Owari. I have those 3, and one of those is like this big. But these are decent size. They're turning color now, and they turn pretty quick. So there's 2 of them here that needs to be in ground soon. As soon as I harvest them, I guess. Because these are hardy, but they'll die in the freeze, so you got to protect them. So we bought a lot of frost cloth. Comparing it to the Calamondin. All right, so that's our Arctic frost, and Page mandarin didn't fruit. I forgot I think this is the Page mandarin. It actually fruited. There's just one. So these were like dead sticks. Last winter they got freeze damage because I didn't cover them enough, and these are all new growth from all the dead stick. They kind of look like this, and they revived, but they didn't fruit. This one didn't fruit. Usually they do when they don't get that much damage, because you need the older branch to fruit. This one did, because that little branch at the bottom somehow survived, and it gave us 1 fruit. Our blueberries, they've gone nuts in growth, which is good. I don't even put acidifier on this one. I forgot, but they were quite productive this year. And yeah, probably fertilize them. And not a big fan of planting this in ground now. I'm just gonna leave them in here. Here's the other fuyu. This one has several fruits, but they're much bigger than the other one. And there's one right there. See if I can get them through the roses. There they are. so they're kind of regular size, I would say. But it also drop a lot of fruit. So there's only like, I think I harvested 2 on this one, but there's only like less than 10 this year. Hopefully that won't be the case next year, because this is the first time all these persimmons put on crazy amount of growth. Compared to Saijo just went nuts. This is the first time they've got so much fruit. I mean growth. So that would just mean more fruiting branches for next time. So all right, that's just kind of like a update. I know I haven't been posting. Got really busy. There's some figs right here on the guest house. But yeah, this is just the front kind of orchard garden. And as you can see here, if you only have a tiny piece of land, you can pack it in with potted and in-ground stuff. This is surrounded by asphalt. And we have about 20 more Asian persimmons planted in the back. Some of them are doing really good. Some of them not so good because they didn't water them enough when we got drought in Texas. So I'll do another video on those ones. I kind of mow the grass a little bit because it looks so gnarly right now. All right, thanks for watching.